All right, so with that, I think we're moving on because everybody's got that stunned look. So we have two presenters today. So we want to introduce our first presenter. Ross, come on up. So our first presenter is going to be Ross Barnett with Wild Bloom Images. And then our second presenter, when Ross is done, we're going to go with Delia Squires with Tri-City Adult Care. So Ross is going to do a 6-minute presentation, give or take. We're not going to cut you off because we want to make sure you get through all of it. But if you're going to present, if you're looking forward to presenting, just remember that the longer you go, over 6 minutes is going to cut back into your time of feedback from everybody here. So you've got some great minds here that are going to help you through your challenges. So when you do present, let's keep it to the point because we want to make sure we get as many responses as we can. And just give your name and business, make your point, and let's give Ross some good suggestions. So let's welcome Ross. Ross Barnett.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Ross. I appreciate everybody for having me. It's my first time here, as you saw, and I'm going to present my first time because I'm a fan of if you're scared of something and you can't beat the fear, then do it scared. So I'm doing it scared. All right. Thank you. So a little about me. I'm the owner of Wild Bloom Images. We're an LLC. We're based right out of Sorrento. We basically do full-service production company for social media or website. We can even do full-length feature films or documentaries. That's part of what I do. This is my demo reel, and I don't even know if this is going to play. It might be that somebody has to click on the computer to make it play. It shows kind of like my scope of work. Let's see if it doesn't play, it's not the end of the world. Oh, perfect.
You can talk for minutes.
So you'll see some of the stuff that I do here. I've done everything from fashion to a lot of I shine in food. I do food and drink. I've done everything from drag racing to filming doctors. I've filmed transformations, body transformations, massage studios, anything pretty much that you would need. I can film it. I've invested $10,000 in my business already, and I've kind of worked my way into working with the community. So that's what I am doing now. Is I am shifting my focus a little bit from always just trying to make money to working with people in the community, and I'll get with that or to that as I kind of move to the next one. So you can see some streetwear that I did for an online website. They're selling jewelry. This demo reel is only about 90 seconds long, so we'll just let it kind of play out. I've done lots of stuff for the automotive industry. I've pretty much traveled the United States doing these things. I've been paid to do that. This is some food and drink. That was for Longhorn Steakhouse. This is for the local company, DNA Coffee. Some stuff in Lakeland. I was hired by H.E.M. to do something for their amber incense cones for their website. And finally, this is over a place called Dot Decimal in Sanford, Florida. They do cancer research devices for linear accelerators, which are the treatment machines that treat the cancer. They shoot a beam out of it, and that's a linear accelerator right there. These are some things that I'm working on. I'll touch on this in just a few minutes. This is my community reach out here in Lake County. More car stuff.
Very nice.
Thank you. If you guys have ever seen the show Inked, I was hired by Hart Huntington to film all of their tattoo artists. Used to be on MTV. This is some of my work from that. And some more engine building. So I've had my hand, you can see, in a lot of things, from things that are just really pretty and neat videos to things that are really technical and need actual detailed shots of them to sell to people who know what they're looking at. So anyway, we're going to boom on over to the next one because I think it ends here. So we're a mobile production company. We specialize in photography and videography. We want to help you stand out with your business. So our main goal before making ourselves money is to make you money. We want your business to be bigger, better, and look more amazing than the person next to you who's selling the same exact thing. And that's, I think, what we're all fighting for today. Photography, I do branded content of products and videos. You can see I've shot luxury watches, Amazon products. I have weddings, couples photos, things like that. And I kind of just span. If anybody comes up to me and goes, hey, can you do this? I'm a yes man, I'll do it. Doesn't matter what it is. I've always been like that. What makes us unique, this is a little outdated, 16 years of industry experience now. I use a personalized storytelling approach, so we're going to talk to your business. We're going to find out what makes the gears turn, what you're trying to sell, why you're trying to sell it, what's the story behind it, and let's make it into a package that tells the story of your business. We do expertise in visual branding, so if you don't have an identity, and I saw somebody here was a bonsai person, right? So for example, if you need your bonsais to stand out, we could do something that'll make every other bonsai business in the location look like a small closet in a mansion, if you're a mansion. All right. So here is my yearly workflow. So it's interesting. There's a reason why. Jobs turn of the year. Hey, I need new headshots for my email. I've got a picture of me at the bottom. It looks kind of bummy, and I want a nice one. So get a lot of those. Graduation photos. Just shot a couple of some kids. March through August, we do business-focused video and photo production packages. So it gets too hot. Families don't want to come out. This is a huge challenge for me. Okay, asking a family to come out and take pictures in the middle of the summer is like pulling horses' teeth. It's not happening. They've already blown their load back in Christmas. All the Christmas money's gone, and they have their family photos. So I move over every year. I do. Hi, what's up?
Oh, 1 minute.
Oh, I do the photos and videos for business packages. I do fall family photos. That speaks for itself. More weddings and more fall family photos. And then we do holiday family photos like Christmas. Here is my challenge. Right there, the one with the giant big red circle around it. I call it the circle of death. Everything inside the circle of death kills a business. So this is the business-focused video and photo packages. Why is it, and what am I seeking? Here's my issues, you guys. I'm trying to build relationships with businesses. I find a lot of the times when I'm talking to a lot of these businesses, I get a lot of yeses. And then when it comes to the follow-through, I get ghosted. And I think it is, I'm trying to find out what it is, but I'm not going to tell you what I think it is, because I want to hear what you guys think it is. The next one is understanding content value. Many business owners are so focused on their business, they're not focused on selling things or they don't see the content in making a production quality video that's going to sell their products. They think they can do it on their cell phone, their son owns a camera, he takes pictures and puts it in front of a cardboard box, and that's fine. I need a way to communicate the return on interest for somebody to come to me and say, hey, I've invested, I have product stations in my house, I have props that go on your product station, whatever you need, I can make it work. And also referral partnerships. I'm trying to incentivize referrals. So I want to work with businesses locally in the area that might be able to maybe push customers to me, but I don't know how to do that. It seems like when I'm walking into these places, which I do a lot, it's just like a lot of like small talk and it go away because it seems like I'm selling something. If I reach out on social media, they're liable to just ignore me because of social media, you could just read it and not reply. And if I reach out by email or phone, I get a lot of, oh, the manager's not in today, they're in Tuesday, call Tuesday, oh, the manager's not here today, I'll show up, I'm that guy. I'll show up right to your front doorstep. Manager's not here, when do you want to meet him? You tell me. I'll literally fight to meet your manager, say your manager can tell me no. Because I want to hear from your manager and not you. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get local business relationships to understand the value of being involved in a relationship with me. Sure.
Two things.
Sure.
The first one you said was the heat in those. Is it not possible to do it inside with a green screen or something like that?
So where I'm based right now, I do not have an indoor studio. Everything is done outside.
Okay.
With lights. We go to a lot of locations. I don't do like, in the photography business, there are two types of production studios. There are studios with their own studio space, and there are mobile production studios. We're a mobile production studio, so we come to you, we shoot on location.
Okay, so my second thing was, we have an Etsy store, and we know the importance of the difference between our product and the other person is the same product, but it's in the pictures. I was just watching a video last night of a guy who was actually a $10 million business on Etsy, and that was one of the major things he spoke about, was just the difference in the pictures. Like, my wife will use Canva. I really don't like it because to me it looks fake, but I think that would be a business for you to do. I know you're here. But I just think, the point being is you might look for people with Etsy stores to be able to do their photos to help increase their businesses. That's just the point.
That's a good idea. I just recently did stuff in the Amazon merchant stores, so I just, there was a backpack that was on the screen, that was something that I just recently incorporated.
Okay, as we go, before we go into questions or responses, so let's thank Ross for this presentation.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So I'm going to ask you a question again to keep people thinking. We're ready on lights. What's your number one challenge if you had to pick it right now?
I would just say consistent business in a corporate setting.
Okay.
Consistent corporate business.
Nikki.
And local business.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I am going to touch on the question that you had about, I guess, why are they not following through? and you said you don't technically want to say the answer. I'm assuming from my end it might be price. From a small business aspect, I have 2 different businesses. I've actually done multiple, but I have 2 right now. A baking business, definitely could not afford, I assume, and I know what that usually does to people, but just based off of normal, everyday, photographers and videographers around here, I cannot afford them. I would love that for my business. Love it. It would make it escalated beyond belief. But I know I couldn't do it, so I have to do it on my own. And then coming from a market coordinator standpoint, where I take care of hundreds of other small businesses who I see also cannot afford something like that, let alone me as a nonprofit business. It took everything in us to find a videographer that would work with us just to give a 30-second ad. So that would be my only possibility of why you're saying that it's not actually reaching those small businesses that you really want to reach. So I don't know if there's a possibility of maybe like a payment plan situation. If they get you another referral and they actually book, maybe they get so much money off before they do theirs, or something along those lines. But I can guarantee you from the very, very small business aspect, it's probably the money situation. And I would want to. I'm looking at your videos and I'm like, oh, I've got ideas left and right. But I know I probably, and I want to talk to you more about it, but I probably couldn't afford it, unfortunately.
I think
But I want to.
what I noticed, and it's funny because you basically said what I was thinking. People assume that they can't afford it before I even can tell them how much it's worth. So I don't ever want to open with the price, me personally, because I always feel like as soon as I do that, I'm now a salesman. And while I am selling something, and that is true, I want to make sure that the other person understands what they're getting out of it first before what they're getting for it. So it's funny because I do offer a retainer service fee for businesses that can't afford the services. So you would pay a monthly retainer fee, we would sign you on for 90 days, and you would get so much video work based on how much you're paying for that retainer. It's a tiered retainer fee. So it's almost like Netflix, right? You get to watch a month as long as you pay for your payment, and however Netflix, they don't have a limit, you can watch as much as you want. We'll have a limit, obviously. But that is what I think it is when I go into a business and I say, hey, I'm a video and photo guy, have you thought about, what good production quality for your products would look like in front of an audience of targeted buyers? I get a lot of, yeah, I know a guy and he's kind of working for me and blah, 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 but, do you have a card? Sure. And then we start talking and then it falls off after that. And then when I hit them up and I say, hey, we talked, I want to know if there's anything I can help you with, anything that we can talk about price-wise, whatever, a lot of what I get is pretty much that they don't think they can afford it before I talk to them about the prices at all.
Hi. So this is something I'm very passionate about as well. I feel like, these kind of things are your modern day marketing tools when you're a small business, and it should be part of your business plan. It's a lot less expensive than people think. I think one of the things that hinders people is actually coming up with the idea and then also being on camera, because if you notice a lot of people that do social media, they never put themselves on, and you are the brand of that company to start with. So I think if anybody has, if it's affordable, and I'm gonna say what I pay. So I make minute videos with a videographer for $175, and if I do multiple in a day, he charges me $175. So I did 5 in one day, was $875. That'll run me probably 3 months of content. I take that video, I break it up into small shorts. I'll take sections out of it, use it for reels. There's so much you can do with that money that is going to compound the amount of money that you make. Right now, all sales and all businesses start online. So that online presence, I think, is so important to have.
Thank you.
So I think
agree.
that real estate, that's what I do. We all are looking for branding. We're all looking for things like what you have.
Define your ideal customer.
Ideal customer would be somebody who owns a business. They know what they're looking to sell. They don't know how to sell it, and they're looking for somebody to make it shine, look good. They have a budget. Doesn't have to be the biggest budget in the world. That's the perfect customer.
So if you have successful customers that you've done work for, are you able to demonstrate in your advertising activities that this is what I did and this is what happened with that company after I helped them?
Yes.
And do you have that kind of
I
information?
do. I have a portfolio that I do send new clients that does show
Okay.
some of the major companies I've done. And, you know, I took a YouTube channel from 30,000 to 3.2 million. So that was like one of the biggest ones in my portfolio. So I used to even teach realtors what I call the Realtor 101 class. We tell them the importance of social media and sign up and everything. So yes, that's like my biggest thing. And when I was fresh out of college, I wasn't doing that. And that was the first thing that my first employer told me was like, hey, you're really good, but you're throwing a pole in the water, but there's nothing on the hook, you know. So that's kind of where I learned I had to show
Yeah,
that.
my biggest pet peeve is that I can't prove that helped that. You know?
Absolutely.
I can't prove that this did this.
Yes.
And to the extent that you could do that, you're miles ahead of everybody else.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to Monty, then we're gonna go to Matthew, and then we're gonna go in the back to Todd. Remember, we got 8 minutes left. Please keep everything to the point.
Hey Ross, good job,
Thank you.
and great work. I enjoyed the video. I concur with John to say that proof's in the data, and that'll help you make pudding. So if you can tell that story of like specific convergence rates, ROI, this got this many social ads, if you're able to maybe include in your contract to circle back, especially the people on retainer, if you can, somehow filter that data down to you to say, I'm providing you X amount more convergence or X amount more views, then I think that'd be huge for your next client and also for your new client. Define them, figuring out the data. Okay, there's this amount of businesses in this area. They usually have a structured marketing plan and a marketing budget and this amount of disposable income. That data is available as free. You can get it from John, you can get it from us, you can get it online, maybe from AI. So I encourage you to look at that for that sweet spot of companies that have a marketing director that you're able to get in front of.
Great.
I'm gonna, real quick, Matthew, I'm gonna back up what Monty said, is I think the biggest thing that we all deal with, people will deal with what they know even if it's not good, versus what they competition, the value for the money, like you said on the ROI. Matthew.
All right, I've got 3 things, I'm gonna be quick. All right, so, and Matthew got a Pinpoint Web Studio, a digital marketing agency. So, first one is along the lines of what Monty said, doing your own market research, specifically along these lines to identify what kind of businesses are your target market, what size business are your target market. But in particular, I would venture to say more than likely a business that has a marketing manager, director, a board that they belong to, or have for the business of nonprofits, anybody that has a marketing department in particular, more than likely is going to have an allocated budget for this, and they might not have necessarily an internal videographer, photographer team to utilize. And the last thing, and in regards to your challenge of getting ghosted, so for mine, very similar line of work as yours.
Yes.
I require people sign. I send people a proposal. At the end of the said proposal, they have to sign it. That proposal acts as a contract. The moment I have them finish that, they get notified that they're getting an invoice. That invoice initially is for a 50% usually deposit for whatever that service is. Once somebody has agreed, they're usually they're ready to go. And once they've paid half of it already, it's like, well, we're doing this. So they're ready to get the ball rolling at that point. So having that contract, having that proposal, and having them literally invest initially forces them to, keep it going.
Absolutely.
All right, we got 5 minutes. We're going to Todd, Austin, correct? And then we're going to Austin, and then we're going to go over here. Todd.
Todd Haley, Neighbors of Lake Eustis. So I'm kind of in your same space with small businesses too. And one of the things you're doing really well is building a lot of value in your presentation, which, as Boozy Market said, turns them off almost, because they see it and they go, man, that's awesome, but I could never afford it, before you even give them the chance to say what your price is. So the best way to get small businesses is to have small businesses, which sounds terrible, right? So I would almost say maybe just take a Saturday and do one pro bono tiny small business that everybody already knows.
Yeah.
Like let's say you did doing good junk removal.
I love it. I'm all for that.
Let's say you did just a quick 1-minute video for them, but then everyone else, instead of a jewelry company or a fashion company that we don't know who it is, like, oh wait, if that small business can afford this, maybe I can too. Let me hear them out and see how much it really costs.
That's a great idea. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Austin.
also known as shotgun exterior cleaning. I know with service businesses and small businesses, a lot of people just get overwhelmed with content and like running ads and stuff. So I was wondering if you've ever like looked into like running Facebook ads or you're running the content as a whole, because from that, I know from like an ROI perspective, you can actually see the amount exactly that you spent and the amount of conversion that correlates to. So I think that would be a lot bigger picture for a lot of these smaller businesses who just get overwhelmed by the whole social media aspect.
Yes, so I was actually running social media at the same time I was going to college for video, and I wound up weaning myself off of running social media because I learned that in a lot of the companies they seem to have a split marketing team where half of it runs the social media and half of it produces for the social media. So I picked the production side, but I still am always wondering if maybe I should use that skill to, I would call it a white glove social media service. So you, again, a retainer fee, I go on and make all your posts and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting you brought that up because I've kind of silenced that over the last few years, even though I'm still heavily involved with my own business, social media advertising. So I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
Marcus Savage, how are you? I'm a plumber. If you can make plumbing look pretty, which nobody's going to figure that out, okay? You can use me as a volunteer.
Hey, cool, man. I made mortgages look pretty.
The thing that you touched on sales briefly, and it is very important. Everybody here selling themselves. I had plumb for half the people in this room, or I spoke with half of them, and I did a lot of training, sales training back in the day, and I did door to door. If anybody wants to know some of the most brutal jobs you can do, the whole U.S. except for Hawaii. So you see every demographic. Sales is extremely important, and terminology, like you said, invoice up there. I'd say receipt. There's warm and fuzzy terms to manipulate and change to make people feel they're getting a return from stuff. So you could value a lot in trainings that just verbiage. We call them warm and fuzzies. I come out. Customers don't even know what a lifetime warranty. You'd be surprised when I say stuff. Plumbing is very technical. So when I'm trying to explain that to people, I have to bring it down. I don't say dumb it down. I just have to make it warm and fuzzy and make sense to the customer. You know, and that'd be something I would spend a little time on. And again, you can use my business if you want to try in the area.
Yeah, I think the free services are just line up upstairs.
I think
we
when you
got
had
time
a
for
show of hands on how many people in this room think that it's important, I think there half or more of the people would think it was important. It's just that barrier of who do I go to, what kind of content, those kind of things.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. We got time for one more, and we're going to cut it off at 10:05 because we want to make sure we give Delia time that she has coming to her. Finish this up.
Yvonne Sanders, Assembly Gardens from Bonsai. Question. One thing, everybody's room is other people in 1 million cups, and what I've noticed is they offer services to me free before they can even discuss. I want to know how much time and money would it be for you? So say, for example, is this building. For you to do a video, maybe showing a sign coming in, the Eustis, welcome Eustis, and just maybe a video right outside this building, and then pitch it to them. Would that be something you could do to just show them, this is what I can do for you, but it's very short?
Yeah, absolutely.
Something you can do that for. They do that for several small businesses.
Yeah, I guess it would just, you were saying how much would it be? It just would I guess, depend on how much went into it, but it would be hard to say. I'd have to plan it out. But yeah, no, it's not impossible. I could definitely do that, for sure.
And you can already pitch.
Yes.
Pitches,
Exactly, yeah. Good idea.
All right, thank you, Russ. Let's thank Ross for his time.
Thank you, guys.
Again, this is not an easy thing to do, so it takes a lot, so we appreciate our presenters. So Ross, thank you. We're going to move on to our next presenter. As we move over, there we go. We're going to go to our next presenter. Before we go to our next presenter, we've got 9 seconds. Let's welcome Queen Roxy. George, we announced you before the meeting, so today, now we get Queen Roxy. So we want to introduce our next presenter. This is Delia with Tri-City Adult Daycare. So Delia?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Delia Suarez, and I'm here from Tri-City Adult Daycare and Home Care. I would first like to thank 1 Million Cups for allowing us to present today, and we do look forward for the feedbacks. I would like to talk first a little bit about our challenges. Our challenges are retaining staff, reliable staff, and utilizing all of our services that we provide. Our services are adult daycare, we have our in-home care, nurse registry, APD, which is Agency for Persons with Disability, and yes, we have a cleaning company. A clean house is also healthy, so that's part of our health plan, having a clean house, so we have all in one. I'm going to go back to a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago. In Trinidad, my parents, my grandparents, and my parents were business owners. I went to school for fashion and design for 5 years, where I had my own business in Trinidad. And upon moving to the US, I changed my career and went into health. It was a big change. Different from fashion and drafting papers and sewing. So moving to the US, I met my husband Matthew in South Florida, where we began our family. We related and moved to Lake County, where I worked at Lake County Health Department for 14 years, together working part-time at the nursing homes. One of the things I've learned in working with the nursing homes that I felt unsatisfied and unfilled with the care that was being given in the nursing homes. That is where it led me to then open an adult daycare. My husband, great supported me and my ideas in creating an adult daycare center. So we opened the center in 2019. Our goals are to keep people in the homes with their loved ones as long as they possibly can, to give that that family feeling and not be in a nursing home. If you have to go in a nursing home, well, that's the other option. But doing an adult daycare center gives you that opportunity to stay home longer. Who we are. We are a company that is based in Tavares. We opened in 2019, so we are 5 years, right at our 5-year mark, which is great. We serve the immediate cities around us, also our surrounding counties. We do have license to service as far as we have like the North region and the South region, so we would like to expand in those regions. So that is one of our goals that we're working on. Our targeted clients are disabled, age and disabled clients. Now there's age and disabled and then there's able. The age and disabled are just the old, your parents or your grandparents that are needing help. And then you have the disabled adults, which is from the agency of persons with disability, born with disabilities. So our company can provide care for both. At our center, which is located in Tavares, we have the ability to provide care for aged adults and disabled adults. So we provide in-home and daycare, so it can be a combination of both services. So you can do some daycare and then some home care with the same company. Again, this is some of our challenges: reliable staffing. Retaining staffing. I know I see some people shaking their head. Yes, it is very hard to retain reliable people. So if we have any ideas on how I can retain that would be great. I greatly appreciate any feedback and utilizing all of our services.
All right, let's thank Delia. So I gotta admit, with age comes loss of memory. I was gonna ask her what her challenges were. I totally blanked on it, so that's why I started doing it. So I apologize for that. I will tell you one of the challenges. I think this is an extremely important product and program. Through our church, we have a program where we visit people in senior care facilities and where they're there long term. I'll try to be nice about it. They're disgusting. And the care that they get, the food that they get is shameful, and that's why services like this are so important, and to be respectful to our parents and our family members and people as they age. So I look forward to any responses we can get back. So let's go ahead and Derek, let's start with you.
I don't have any advice to give, but I did have a question about your facility. Is it a scheduled from a certain time to a certain time? And when you have patients there, is there particular things that you offer for them to do throughout the day?
Yes, our center is open from 8 to 5. At the center, we do a lot of activities. Most of our activities are based on memory games, and we do the memory games and other arts and crafts based on the seasons. So if we have Christmas, our arts and crafts will be tailored to Christmas. Valentine's the same thing. We do exercises, music games, we do karaoke, we go on a lot of outings as well. We take them every Tuesday, we go on a field trip. We go to the movies, we do the fall festival, the mall, and we also go to, there's a senior center in Mondora that we tend to take them to. And so anything, we try to take them out. So we take them out because a lot of times you have the caregivers at home that are unable to do activities with them. So we also provide that activities and taking them out.
All right, perfect. Thank you. We're going to go to Nikki, then we're going to go to Alan, then we're going to Natasha.
Hi, I worked in, I'm sorry, I don't like to stand, I'm pretty much short anyway. I worked in medical for over 10 years. I am obviously no longer in medical. And the reason why, it's not so much maybe a suggestion, because I have no idea what your company does, but I can tell you why me, my friends, and some of my family members actually got out of medical, from all the way from front office staff all the way to RN. And it was mainly because of two different points. One, the pay was just not sufficient for the amount of work that we did. And it wasn't just, oh, I just need a little bit more money. No, they were making us do multiple jobs, but paying us for one, okay? And then the second point was they didn't treat us as people, human beings. They treated us as a number. When I had finally found an office that treated me like family, understood that if my child was sick, I needed to go home or I needed to be home. They didn't give me grief. They didn't give me all that problem. And the same thing with the hospitals. They give my mom so much grief, and she's a first assist RN. And she's struggling because all their policies are starting to change and they're treating her like a number and not like an actual human. So I'm not telling you that's how you're doing it, I'm just telling you that's why we left, and I don't know if that's something that could possibly help retain your staff.
Okay, one of the things we do at on interview, I state that I'm a family person. I also worked at the health department where it was very difficult for me to get time off. So I do know how getting time off is. What I tell people is don't take advantage.
Yeah.
I, as a company, our company, we would adjust your schedule to meet your needs for your health, because one of my saying was, I comes before you, and I am going to take care of myself. That is what I said when I worked. So I take that to my business, knowing that when someone needs a doctor's appointment or they're sick, that we give them that opportunity to do it. Now, what we have found out is that that is a weakness, that is something they take for granted, and they abuse the time that they have. I've had one person requested and made themselves unavailable 19 times in a month and a half.
Oh, no.
Well, see, that's
so,
not so much what I was thinking.
So
I would say, I guess the person that would take advantage of that is somebody that was sitting there saying that I'm pregnant and I have these doctor's appointments, and they gave me grief because I was pregnant and needed these doctor's appointments.
My assistant Morgan is pregnant, and she could attest that whenever she needs an appointment, I'm a woman. So I also know when I worked at the nursing home, pregnant, I did not go back after I had my child because of that, because of the way that they treated you. I'm a family person, and I always believe that your family comes first. If you need that time, we are going to adjust. In able to retain some of our staff too, we even have 401k. Our company offers 401k. We're working on the health plan, but we do offer supplemental insurance as well. So we're doing stuff to retain. It's just that we're not, people are not reliable. Some people are not reliable, I should say.
All right, we're going to go to Alan, then Natasha, and then Joanna, and then we'll go to Rose. Alan.
Hi, Delia. I met with you and your husband, and I love your heart for the business and the service and what you're trying to do in the community, and I think you guys are fantastic, and I'm hopeful that this all works out for you. Can you share more about what the retention issues actually are? You mentioned some of the things you're doing to help people want to join your company, and you mentioned an issue with an employee that is maybe not doing what they need to do. What are the issues? Have you found, have you done enough analysis of the people that have left? Are you looking at other companies in the local area and what they're doing to attract people? Even a simple Indeed search on jobs that are posted to see what they're putting out there. Those types of things can help you get a little bit deeper on why they join and why they don't stay.
One of the things I believe in the especially recent with having COVID, and during COVID time, a lot of companies got grants, so their pay was higher. So now that those grants are no longer there, and you have to pay from what you're retaining, from what you're getting, you pay out, like what I get from Medicaid, I cannot pay you more than what I get from Medicaid. So if we are Medicaid, and we are Medicaid providers, so Medicaid pay is not the best, but it's sustaining us. So I have to pay based on that. We are not retaining them. One, there are so many other options out there that they know they can jump around, and if they don't like the simplest thing that you say, they're in high demand, they're gonna go somewhere else. Even though we have the 401k and we have the flexibility to for time off, and I'm still not able to retain. Yes, the pay does count a lot. I am one of the highest paying for caregivers, for CNAs right now in our area. That should answer your question.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It takes a special person. All right, so we're going to go to Natasha, then we're going to go to Joanna, then we're going to go to Rose, and we're going to work our way back over to Delaney and John, and then Amanda.
Hello, my name is Natasha Kanbach with Wellness Vista. First of all, bless your heart. You're such a sweet individual for really wanting to take care of really the population that gets neglected the most. What I wanted to suggest to you is I have quite a few friends that I grew up with, and we went to college and we all graduated, and they were telling me that whenever they were in college still, the ones that became nurses, there were various businesses, whether it was hospitals or clinics or different things, that would go to these different colleges and basically introduce themselves to all of the new upcoming nurses and be like, hey, this is what we do if you want to specialize with children, or you want to specialize working with the elderly, or you want to do this and work in a small town. This is what we are. We will hire you straight out of college as long as you pass the nursing test, all that stuff. So I would recommend maybe trying to get involved with all the colleges that do have nurses come from them and really get in with their upcoming nurses to be like, hey, this is an option for you. I think that'd be great.
And take that to an intern program.
Yes, thank you. Jermaine was actually trying to help me get with Lake Tech.
Joanna.
So we still have to.
And then Rose.
I think basically everybody has pitched into what I wanted to say. I'm a retired RN and managed an OBGYN practice for 19 years. And I think the challenges that we had were giving the staff the flexibility to do their awards in the morning and the early pickups and things like that. So we had a couple of part-time nurses that would maybe fill in those blanks. I mean, I managed like maybe 15 to 19 medical assistants, so it was hard to please everybody. And I got in certain trouble because I wanted to please everybody, and then it was too late and too deep to come out. But just strategizing to where, you know, I don't know how many staff you're looking for, but having somebody very flexible that can, you know, fill in those blanks. If somebody, even a temp agency that might help you in the last minute, but definitely more than money, which is, we need money, but it was the being able to take care of your kids, your families, your sick kids and things like that. So it's just weighing and working with the staff one-on-one. But those that take advantage, and I had those, you know, sometimes it's a little too long to have them around and so forth. So nobody died when we were short-staffed, and we made it work, but definitely having that extra part-time person that could be flexible and helping other people's schedules really works.
Appreciate that. I do have my office assistants actually do both. They usually start a client for me, or I sometimes had to know they had start clients that we got just to be able to retain the client until we find somebody to work them.
All right, Rose, we got roughly 6-ish minutes left.
Hi, Delia. I'm Rose Window with Windows Catering and Events. I really think that what you do is amazing. My mother, she's 87 years old. And I understand that you might not be able to get reliable staff in, and sometimes it might not be the pay. My mother is difficult to deal with. I'm serious. I take care of her like 70% of the time. And it's really hard to deal with the elderly, you know. So sometimes it's not the pay, but I really think that what you're doing for the community is amazing. One question I want to ask you, what do you offer different from any other of the services here in Lake County?
Great question. Thank you for asking. What we offer different, not different, I should say unique, is that we have the combination of daycare and home care. So you have clients that are in the home that really should come out to socialize with others. So if we have a home care client, we offer them the opportunity to come out. We even have clients in the home that are not a daycare client, and our staff can visit the center with them. Same thing with the daycare clients. If they need assistance in the home, we are able to do that. If the caregiver's on vacation, our company can step in and take care of them when they are out. So that's the uniqueness with us, being able to do the two services at the same time, well, simultaneously.
All right, so based on the time, we're gonna go Amanda, Delaney, John, and then we're gonna wrap it up with Monty. So Amanda.
So I applaud you for what you're doing. My career was as a case manager, almost 20 years. And I also worked in a daycare center. I was the director for respite and resource services, where I started a in-home support program and a respite program. One of the biggest challenges is that Medicaid does not pay these people well to do this job. And I found in my journey that people have to want, like it's a calling.
Yeah.
Like it's a calling to be able to work in this field, because you're not gonna do it for the money. You have to want to be there. One of the things that I found was finding people that were willing to be on call, or not on call, but as needed, to be that backup person for when you really needed somebody to come in and do that job when you couldn't find anybody else. So if you can find people that maybe are retired that really want to be able to help to give back, that's an option for having somebody that's as needed, to be able to jump in there to do something when you need that person to come in there and do that.
Thank you.
Hi, Delaney with Doing Good Junk Removal. Question, have you used a staffing business, like a staffing organization, that's what they do, is they find you staff?
I have inquired about one with somebody already, but again, the rates that they're charging is actually more than what Medicaid is paying per hour.
Gotcha, okay, well I have reached out to a friend of mine who does just that. I'd love to connect you to and just see if it's any different.
Thank you.
Hi, John Durango, FPCC. Couple things. It's really, really difficult for everybody in this room to retain employees because they have needs, health insurance, other things. A suggestion for everybody is, number one, the marketplace has individual health policies that can be significantly less expensive on a monthly basis and give you an opportunity to maybe co-share that expense. Number two, make sure that you give your employees regular evaluations so that they know what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And number three, make sure that a portion of their annual compensation is discretionary, which really means if I succeeded in the goals and objectives of my department, I get a little extra pay. If you had a great year as a company, share some of that with your employees.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, John. And everybody's right. Kudos to you. It is a calling, and it makes such a big difference in people's lives, the bedside care, and can't say enough about that. I concur with John said to set goals for your staff, check in with them, figure out what their individual mission is for being there, and if there are incremental things that you can put forth in front of them that they can work toward. I think that would be important. Just at least check in and ask, am I a stepping stone to you? Do we need to prepare you to go be an RN somewhere else? Or do you want to be in charge of other CNAs? You know, what is your mission here with Tri-City Adult Daycare? And give them the autonomy to do that. Train them for different programs within you. People live for their own autonomy, their own freedom. So another thing to charge a little more, maybe to give people extra pay, they perform extra duties. So like charge your clients additional services, and or maybe partner with other companies to have a referral base of like, oh, I'm partnered with Brightside cleaning services. So now you get 5% off for you using Brightside cleaning, and then you have a relationship with different businesses like that. So now you have a reservoir of business referral network within and a constant pipeline and a benefit to your staff. That's really no sweat off your back. And if your people can't pay for these extra services, maybe there are particular foundations that seek out to spend the money that they've collected as a 501c3 and can partner with you for these extra activities that I know are an added cost for you that you may not be charging for. You can just keep adding on the benefits that to your clients, and it might be paid for through another nonprofit, not just you.
Yeah, and to follow up on that, we've got like 30 seconds. You know, maybe a menu of products that the people can choose from, and then hire your people based on the menu and say, these are the services we offer. Where do you want to fall into these? And that way, hopefully, they're committing to whatever service that they are saying, I want to do these. So you can tailor the people to the menu and the services that the customers are providing. So we got 5 seconds. Let's thank Delia for taking the time to come up here. And thank you everyone for all of your great feedback for both presenters. So we're going to move on to last but not least, community announcements. Maria, I know we got a lot coming up with George Fest. We're going to save you for last because I know you got a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Join us tomorrow night at 6, actually every Thursday night at 6 for pickleball. It's just for 1 million cups, and it's right at Pine Meadows. It's 5 minutes up the road. We have the rackets, everything, but no advanced players, please, unless you're there to help.
Matthew can teach. Matthew is like a savant at pickleball. Alan.
I'm Alan Biles, and right now I'm representing Toastmasters. I'm president of the local chapter. For those of you who are not aware of what Toastmasters is, it's an organization. We meet on Monday evening at 5:30 at the Lake Eustis Area Chamber of Commerce. You don't know where that is? At the south end of Farron Park. We meet there at 5:30. It's an opportunity for you to come and join every Friday and learn and develop and hone your speaking skills. What did I just say? Friday. Every Monday. Every Monday. To hone your speaking skills, to improve your communication. So I welcome you. Dave has been joining. What do you think?
It was wonderful. I had a great time. I'm going back.
Coming back.
So this is our committee announcement and testimonial.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to go to Nikki, Natasha real quick, and then we're going to wrap up with Marie because we are on a tight schedule.
Okay, this Saturday, which is February 8th, from 11 to 3 at Sensational Farms in Umatilla is our 4th annual Big Orange Day. Remember, all Whimsy Market events are free to admission and parking. There's going to be monster trucks, vendors, food trucks, games, fountain houses, all the things. And then the following Saturday, we are in Wildwood at the Wildwood Community Center. That event is also very similar, but everything is free, including the bounce houses, the face painting, the touch-a-truck, everything like that. The Rotary Club of the Villages is putting that on. If you want more information about all of our events, we put out the calendar over here, so you can scan our QR code and it takes you to our link tree. Thank you, guys.
All right, Natasha, and then we're going to finish up with Marie. Sorry, Ross.
Hi everybody, my name is Natasha Kleinbach with Wellness Wisdom, and I'm so happy to announce that exactly a week from today at 6:30 p.m. at the Lakeshore Mall in the dance studio in the back, I'm going to be having my nutrition class. Woo-hoo! So this is going to be the first of many, and I'm going to be having them every other week. So this is going to be a nutrition class on boosting your immune system and getting rid of things that hurt your immune system. And there's going to be some food there, so come, it's free, and I would love to see all of your happy faces. And I'm going to be posting on Facebook, so follow me on Facebook so you'll see the flyer and everything, and you can come to it. And I'll announce it next Wednesday as well. But thank you guys.
All right, so just a reminder, we're going to finish up with Marie. If you have a flyer, bring it, put it on the back table for everybody to grab. Go to the LEAD website. They will post the events on their website. So this way you can get more information on those upcoming. So everything with George Fest, Marie, finishes up.
Okay, back me up, Pam, if I forget. This week, we just came back from our George Fest breakfast, and There was close to 200 people there. We had nine new members that were introduced. We crowned a king and queen of George Best. Okay, they're both in this room. Isn't that amazing? And it's Roxy Cruz and George's body is King George. So, and they will be representing throughout the year the city of Eustis and us as well. So, really, it starts next week. Todd, we have a business after hours at American
Dream Kitchen Design right here on Grove Street.
Right on Grove.
5:30 Thursday. So next Thursday at 5:30.
It's the 13th. The 13th at American Dream Design Kitchen over here. It's on our website also. And then on the 14th, yeah, with Lake Eustis Neighborhood.